Welcome to Ho Chi Minh City, everyone, also known as Saigon. In this video, I'm going to go over my favorite places as far as restaurants, cafes, shopping, and just places to hang out. I'll show you where I stayed during my time in Ho Chi Minh City, which I highly recommend for you to consider. Stick around to the end for a couple safety tips I have on traveling Vietnam in general. Now, full disclosure, this footage is from my Vietnam trip in 2018. But I've done some research to make sure the information is still relevant. Of course, there are many more amazing spots in Ho Chi Minh City to check out other than the ones in this video. So if you have any other recommendations, please share them in the comments below. Okay, so before we dive into my recommendations, let's take a quick look at the map of Ho Chi Minh City. As you can see, the city is divided into several districts, the most notable one being District 1, where all the action is, including the backpacker area of Bui Tien Street, Notre Dame Cathedral, and much more. I stayed in District 5, which is known for being a clothing shopping area. For more information on the various districts and what each has to offer, check out the link in the description below. Okay, let's get started. So first and foremost, the Lunch Lady, located in District 1. Now I'm sure many of you have already heard about the Lunch Lady from the late Anthony Bourdain's show No Reservations. He really made the Lunch Lady famous, and for years people have been raving about the food there. Personally, I love the food there. It was literally the best pho I've ever tasted in my life. However, after reading some recent reviews, I was a bit surprised to find out there was so much negative feedback. It seems a lot has changed since my trip, many people calling it a tourist trap. So I'm somewhat on the fence about still recommending it. My experience was completely different though, so I would still encourage you to be open-minded and try it out for yourself. The Lunch Lady typically has one main menu item per day. Luckily when I went, they were serving my favorite dish, which is chicken pho. I met the Lunch Lady herself, took a picture with her. She was super sweet, although the recent reviews say otherwise. Okay, moving on to another restaurant that I quite enjoyed, Pho Hung, which is also located in District 1. This place was packed with locals, which is always a good sign for good food. It seems like this is a place to go for lunch. They specialize in beef noodle soup, but I stuck to my favorite, chicken pho of course. So clean, so fresh, this place is a must try. Okay, now I love Vietnamese food, but after a few days of it, I was craving something more familiar to back home, especially for breakfast. If you find yourself in a similar situation, I highly recommend checking out the Workshop in District 1. They offer a wide variety of Western-style breakfast. I had the Eggs Benedict. This place is also serious about their coffee and offers several different ways to make it. Definitely worth checking out. It's located on the 3rd floor, just follow the signs all the way up. Alright, let's take a short break from the food and explore the shopping area of Ben Thanh Market, located in District 1. This is an indoor market that has clothes, jewelry, local handcrafts, art, souvenirs, plus much more. Be prepared to be called out and persuaded to buy things from the vendors. Some of them can be a bit pushy, but don't take it personal. Bargaining is welcome and expected. Okay, up next is a super hip cafe called Shi, located in District 1. This is a great place to take a break and enjoy a drink. The decor and music in this place is definitely a vibe to enjoy. Great place to meet with friends or just enjoy some alone time away from the craziness of Ho Chi Minh City. Coffee, teas, juices, beer, plus much more. Relaxing, refreshing, and definitely worth the visit. Another cafe I enjoyed was the Running Bean in District 1. This is an ultra-modern and spacious cafe with a patio perfect to enjoy a drink and people watch. They had a big selection of desserts, smoothie bowls, waffles, and more, and the staff were super friendly and welcoming. Okay, up next is the famous walking street called Bui Tien Street, located in District 1, also known as the Backpacker Street. This is a popular street that comes alive in the evening time. Every night is a party here. Loud music, bright lights, bars, pubs, restaurants, and a great place to mingle and make new friends. All the places I've discussed so far are located in District 1, so many people, especially the backpacker community, love to find accommodations in District 1 for the convenience. However, I personally think it's too close to the action, which is one of the reasons why I decided to stay in District 5, which is still pretty close to District 1. Personally, I'd rather stay somewhere less crowded and noisy and visit District 1 when I was in the mood. District 5 can still get pretty busy, however it's mostly occupied with locals and has less backpackers and partygoers than District 1. I stayed at a place called the Common Room Project and I loved it. At the time of my trip, the going rate per night for your average hostel was about $10, while the Common Room Project was about double that at $20 per night. By being more expensive compared to the rest, you definitely get a different crowd. I've made a whole separate video about the Common Room Project. If you're interested to see more, there's a link in the description below. So I want to wrap this video up with a couple pieces of advice if you are traveling to Ho Chi Minh City or Vietnam in general. The majority of locals are so amazing, welcoming and honest. In fact, one time I overpaid for something and the store owner chased me down the street to return the extra money. That being said, like anywhere, there are criminals around, so keep a close eye out and a grip on your belongings, especially your camera and phone. I believe staying in a hostel with other travelers is a safer option than staying in hotels because you're surrounded with a community of travelers that look out for each other. Another tip is to avoid the taxis if possible. Do your own research beforehand and negotiate a flat fee to your destination. The taxi drivers are infamous for taking long routes and running up pricey fares. I'll admit I was personally a victim of this from the airport to my accommodations. I used Uber for the rest of my trip and it was so amazing. Uber is no longer in operation in Vietnam, but there's a similar company called Grab, which will be more reliable than taking the taxis. That's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing. And again, there are probably so many other great places in Ho Chi Minh City, so if you do know any that you want to recommend, please leave them in the comments below so we can all learn about them. Thanks and safe travels.